Okay, so this video is called Why I Love Africa. And so before I get into why I love Africa, I want to tell you thank you for tuning in. Please like this video, please share, and please subscribe. I will be giving you and sharing with you this journey that I call life that we are living. And right now, I'm so engulfed with loving Africa. If you love Africa, stay tuned, like, comment, make sure you subscribe. So, why I love Africa. Like, you ever feel like you're at home? Like, I'm an African American woman, born and raised. My mother's side is from Nigeria. My father's side is from Trinidad. I did my DNA test. It came back to Yoruba tribe, Yoruba and Fulani tribe of Nigeria. And I always, well, not always, I would say the past 10 years of my life, I've been surrounded by Nigerians. I didn't even know why. I was just into the whole Nigerian culture. And once we did our DNA and did our genealogy and research, boom, found out I was Nigerian. And a lot of my friends would always tell me, "You're more African than me, Sanika." So the very first time I went to Africa was, I think it was 2013. No, that wasn't the very first. That was the first time I went to Nigeria. I don't remember the exact date I went to Africa, but the very first time I went to Africa, I got my feet in the soil was, I think it might have been 2011. I met this. It's in my book actually. It's in my book. It's my first time ever getting my feet in the soil of Africa was in South Africa. I went to Johannesburg. Now, this flight was like 19 hours. It's like so long. Like your very first time you're going to go to Africa, and boom, I took the longest trip to get there. So I work at the airlines, and that's how I'm able to fly so much. And I had 7 days off, and I had just got my passport, but I didn't have any money. I had like maybe $125 in cash and maybe $150 in credit or something like that. I know I didn't really have no money. And I had 7 days. It was my vacation. My family, nobody wanted to go with me. My man had to work, and I was just like, listen, I got all this time off. I need to go somewhere. So I'm at work. The next day starts the vacation. I meet this lady. I call her auntie to this day, and she had to get rebooked or something was wrong with her ticket, and we started conversing, and I was like, wow, I wish I could go with you to Africa. And she said, come go with me. Girl, you know my crazy behind was like, okay, I'm going. I went home, I told everybody I was going. They were like, you're crazy. You can't be going to Africa, and of all places, South Africa. What if something happens? I'm like, well, hey, the most that can happen, I'll have fun. The worst that can happen is like I'll just get back on the plane and come back, or do what I do here in New York. I mean, like, I'm from New York. You're like, hey, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I wasn't afraid. The energy felt right. So my behind, I'm the last one to get on the plane. Like, I'm literally running late to the plane. So when you first time travelers, make sure you're early for your flight, especially an international flight. I didn't know anything about flying, so, well, at least not flying internationally. I mean, I did know stuff about getting to the gate and all that, but like, this is my first time going international. I'm from Queensbridge. Look that up. Queensbridge Projects, going to Africa. And you know, all the stories you hear about Africa, the people are starving and don't go, and they're gonna kill you, or they're gonna eat you, or they do voodoo, and just craziness you hear. You living in huts and there's nothing, you're surrounded by animals. Like, this is the stuff we've been, indoctrinated to see about Africa. They always show you starving babies, right? So like, they don't show you the beauty that Africa possesses. So I'm on a plane. I don't even know if the lady's on the plane because I'm the last one on the plane. It's 19 hours. I'm like, well, hey, I'm going to fly there. If she's not on the plane, I'll just fly back. Hey. So get on the plane. You get 35,000 feet, and I'm in business. So it's my first time in business. I'm loving that. Feeling a little nervous because I don't have that much money on me, and I don't even know if the lady's on the plane. And it's 19 hours. So I think I have more than 7 days off. So I get on the plane. We 35,000 feet in the air, and you get to walk around the plane. I walk to the back, and she's like midway, and I see her, and I'm like, auntie, she said, oh my God, you made it, Sanika, you made it. So when we land, now I feel a lot better because I know, hey, I got a native person from South Africa. She's actually from Zimbabwe, but she has family in Johannesburg and does business in Johannesburg. She's a professor at Clark University. And so when we land, I'm like, my heart is going. Finally, the 19 hours after sleep, waking up, and you're still not there. 19 hours. Just got to prepare for that. So once we get there, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Africa. Like, I'm super excited. My heart is going because I'm just loving myself. I just started getting into myself and checking out who I really am and getting into my culture and reading books and, So I'm like, yo, I'm in Africa, baby. And I'm with someone that's from Africa, so they're going to show me around. When I tell you I didn't pay for anything, she showed me the time of my life. And all of that nonsense about starving babies, that's a lie. You don't starve. That's a lie. Like, yeah, you have poverty all around the world. Even in New York City, you're going to see homeless people. But the fact that they're starving and, like, big bellies running around, this is craziness. No. I'm in Johannesburg. I land. We pull over to the side of the road. I'm like, please, I got to pick up some dirt, touching the earth. I'm home. And, I mean, it was just incredible. I met her friends, and she took me around. We went to the mall of Brooklyn, and it's like home. You see your brothers and sisters, and like, you looking like, I'm like, wow, that person looks like this person back at home. People are nice. You don't feel like you on edge. And when I tell you, I love to eat. I think that just sparked my whole eating episode. Like, the breakfast, because they like that colonial breakfast. Like, I had everything, and I love spices. I don't know, that first trip to Africa, I gained at least 15 pounds. And I'm not lying, I ate everything, and back then I was eating everything. But the food was so amazing, and she just took me around and introduced me to Africa. And from that one incident of not knowing, and the money that I did have, I think I just used that just for buying a bunch of souvenir to bring back for people and buying stuff. I bought this beautiful bag. I still have this South African bag. But you saw the creativity and listened to the music and how humble and so friendly everyone was. And it was just really, like, we spoke to each other. Like, people say good morning, people say hi, and really mean it. Like, it was just life-changing for me. And that was my first meeting with Africa and coming back home and feeling the energy and experiencing the love. And I humbly come to you and invite you to Africa. I mean, even if you don't come with me on my tours, like, I do tours now to Ghana, and I just highly recommend, if you haven't been to Africa, don't even believe me. I want you to know for yourself. Book a trip, go to Africa. Like, even if you don't know nobody, it's the safest place on the planet Earth. Like, and I know that sounds like, well, the safest place on the planet Earth is inside of a black woman. But besides that, I'm saying the most comfortablest place as a black woman, a black person, if you want to go to some other place. I mean, I always wanted to go to Paris, Hawaii, Rome, like a lot of European countries that we've been told you need to go to, but you never hear people telling you come to Africa. You never hear anything great about Ghana. You never hear anything great about Kenya. You never hear anything great about Johannesburg. You always hear negative stuff about us, where in Africa it has nothing but all the resources, and every other race of people is in Africa ripping her all her natural resources. You may encounter a lot of Africans that come to America, or if you're in the Caribbean, and they tell you their story. Yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle in New York City. It's a struggle in America. It's a struggle in California. It's a struggle wherever you are. But don't focus on the struggle, I don't care where I'm at. You're going to pay bills. I mean, you're going to always earn money. Like, I focus on earning money and meeting people, and this is whatever you're focusing on. But Africa is like, I remember when I went to Nigeria. That was my first time. Oh my God. Because they tell you Nigeria is like New York to the 10th power. Because New York, we that fast paced. Like, New York ain't got nothing on Nigeria. You can make it in Nigeria. You can make it anywhere in the world. For real. Like, just the traffic alone was like, They just do whatever the hell they want. I see why they're so aggressive. Like, that's probably why I'm so aggressive. Like, it's ridiculous. So, but for me, what really the first impression I got from Nigeria of their being so in control and powerful, and when I came through customs, and I saw this, like, it was a black male. He was holding the gun, and he's standing there strong and looking powerful. And then it was this tall Caucasian man. He was really like a big, tall white guy, big, tall Caucasian guy. And when he had to go approach the Nigerian officer, he humbled himself. It was just so mind-blowing. Like, and I'm not prejudiced. I love my race. I love my race. You know, I don't care about. I love my race. I speak to other people. I love people. Don't get it twisted. I love people. But to see this encounter, it was like life-changing for me. Like, I never seen a white person humbly. So I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just trying to explain it where it's not being racist or taken the wrong way. But I've never saw that in America, where he was so, like, in the Nigerian man, the melanated man. He was powerful, and he wasn't even that tall, but he was just the way his position and his mannerism was. And he was like, "Give me your passport," or something. He said something to that effect. And then the Caucasian guy, he kind of humbled himself and gave it. And I'm standing back looking, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like, and the way his authority, he was very authority. How do you say the word? He was just very in control of how he spoke to the guy, and the way he received it. It was just amazing. Like, I never seen that in my whole life, and that just opened my eyes. Like, wow, talk about power. And then when you go through customs and you talking about fun and party in Nigeria, like. And I love to party. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to be partying. I'm 85, turning up. But you partake. They make sure you party. You have a good time. The food, like, if you love spices, I love spices. Maybe you don't like spices, but then you're in for trouble. But the food was just so good. And the men were just so fine. Like, the fashion was so fine. And the sisters is so cool. Like, you just got to get to Africa, like. And then when I went to Ghana, like, that's a whole nother video. Or just check down there somewhere. It's a video on Ghana, like, no, seriously. You just got to go. I know that wasn't really explaining the country, explaining the love that you receive from one another, explaining the genuine respect that we have for one another. Just Africa itself is just so powerful. I see why they try to keep it a secret and make other black people not want to go to Africa. I see why. It's like the Santa Claus tale when you find out that there's no real Santa Claus. That's how I feel like when I went to Africa. All the lies I've been told and shown and spoon-fed, all the negative things about Africa is beautiful. You just take it in the sun, and like, even if you go out to Kenya and you experience the safari and the animals and Mother Nature, and it's order, it's respect, it's love, it's just peace. Like, we just want to have fun. We don't want all this chaos. People come to the country and bring chaos. Wherever they go, they just rape her of her natural resources of just being loving. Like, even just the herbs itself, just think about that for a matter of fact. All the beautiful herbs that we have to heal yourself. Like, before we went to a doctor and took all these pills and stuff like that, that just medicated us, what did we do when we went back home in Africa? We went out to Mother Nature in the forest and picked certain herbs and took this to heal us. You know, like, just simple, loving life. Please. Go home, pay respect to your ancestors. Get your feet, get your body in Africa. Take in some of this beautiful African sun. I can't wait to go back home. I'm excited. Like, I'm missing her right now, just thinking about her. Like, You don't have to look over your shoulder. Like, you got crime probably. I mean, I never experienced it there. But you got poverty. You have the wealth. You know, there's beautiful buildings, beautiful homes, gold, fashion, everything, fun. Like, whatever your wildest dream, sailing. Even go sailing in Africa. They be trying to lie to us. Like, it's crazy. But on the real note, get yourself to Africa. It is absolutely beautiful. Like, just don't even listen to my story. My story is corny, but just go to Africa. If you never do anything else, forget about Paris, forget about Rome, forget about Barcelona. I do love Amsterdam though. But no, seriously, I don't care what part of Africa you go to. I don't even tell you about Egypt. Oh my God. People be like, that's not Africa. No, Egypt is still Africa. It's Africa. Get your feet into some soil in Africa and start reactivating your DNA. And I promise you, you might not be as gung-ho as I am, but you're going to be much, much better than you are. You're going to want to go back. I promise you. If you didn't have a good time you in Africa, please let me know. Tell me why, where you went. But I doubt that. Unless you're just a negative person and just one of the people to come to rape her of her resources, then that's probably why you have a good time. But even with that being said, you're still there trying to get it in. But go to Africa. Go. Come home. The motherland is there waiting for you. Your ancestors will lead the way. I know you think I don't have the money. Trust me, I didn't have the money either. But I found the money. Just how you found, you go shopping, ladies, and you see that dress and it's like $200, or those boots, that's $200, and you know you're not supposed to buy them boots, but you figure out a way how to get those boots. That's how I feel about Africa. You figure out a way to get there by every means necessary. You might not even want to come back. You may not even want to come back. And I'm serious. You might find the love of your life there. You can raise your family there. The land is just flourishing. It's beautiful. I kid you not. It's beautiful. All right, so go home. Come home to the motherland. I know I'm in Vietnam right now, but I'm going back home to my baby. I'm going home to see my motherland. Going home. My house is being built there. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to share it with you. So, thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, comment. I know I ramble a lot, and I'm getting better. So the more I do this, the better I get. I'm not afraid to show you my true self. This is me. Like, love me or leave me. Like, share, comment. It's all good. It is what it is. But do you? I'm gonna do me, because I'm loving Africa. Go do Africa. Let's do it together. Thank you.